Carnival Cruise Lines is the first to plug into shore power in Miami. Disney Cruise Lines has unveiled their 2025-2026 cruise itineraries, and they are exciting. There's one cruise insurance out there that actually pays for the things that, well, as cruisers, that we need when it comes to being insured. July is fast approaching, and there's many things that happen during the month of July. My birthday for one, but also Christmas in July, or Grinchmas in July. There's one cruise line who's going all out. I've got these cruise news stories and more. Let's swan dive right into it. Hello everyone, it's Cynthia, your host. Welcome back to today's show, where we're going to just jump right in because we have several cruise news stories to discuss today. We're going to start it off talking about Disney Cruise Line. They have unveiled their 2025-2026 cruise sailings, and they're really kind of exciting. These cruise sailings will go all over the Bahamas, the Caribbean, the Pacific, as well as Mexico. And these new routes also include some really fun theme cruises. So let's jump right into it. These upcoming sailings feature the Disney Fantasy, the Disney Dream, the Disney Treasure, and the Disney Wish. And the good news is for you Disney fans, all of these itineraries, they do stop at the two private islands that Disney has, Disney's Lookout Key, or K, and Disney Castaway Cay, or Key, however you say it. The big story lately for Disney is, of course, the opening of the brand new Disney's Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. The island just recently opened its doors to welcome its first guests on June 10th, so just a few short days ago. So starting in October of 2025, and this will go all the way through May of 2026, the Disney Fantasy and the Disney Wish will sail shorter Caribbean getaways. Now, both of these ships are 4,000 passenger ships, and they will offer 3 to 5 night sailings out of Port Canaveral with visits to both of the private islands, Lookout Cay and Castaway Cay. The Disney Dream will sail out of Fort Lauderdale, and it will go to the Bahamas on 3 and 5 night sailings. And this is also a 4,000 passenger vessel. And just like the previous sailings, you can expect to go to both of those private islands, Lookout Cay and Castaway Cay, aboard these sailings. Now, the Disney Dream is a 4,000 passenger ship, but it is slightly smaller than the other two ships. And this smaller vessel will also do 7 night sailings out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, taking you over to the Bahamas and the Eastern Caribbean. And this will happen from October 2025 through May of 2026. Disney Magic, which is the oldest and smallest ship in the Disney fleet, will operate 7 night sailings from San Juan, and it will also head to the Bahamas and the Eastern Caribbean during the months of October through November of 2025. Then in November, the Disney Magic will transition over to the Port of Galveston to offer 4 to 7 night voyages heading over to Cozumel and Progreso, Mexico. The newest ship, the Disney Treasure, will be sailing Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises, beginning with their inaugural sailing in December of 2024. This is also a 4,000 passenger ship, and it will sail out of Port Canaveral. Now, one of the ships we haven't talked about yet is the Disney Wonder. This ship is going to be deployed in Australia and New Zealand between the months of October 2025 through February of 2026. The Wonder will offer 3 to 10 night sailings throughout Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific. Now, the Wonder will reposition to San Diego, California, beginning in March through May of 2026. And at this time, it will offer 3 to 4 night sailings along the Pacific coast and the Baja Peninsula, and it'll stop in Catalina Island and Ensenada, Mexico. Disney Cruise Lines will also offer some really fun theme cruises. We're talking about Halloween on the High Seas and Very Merry Time cruises. The Halloween on the High Seas cruises will begin starting in September through October of 2025, and the Very Merry Time cruises, well, they will pick up beginning November 2025 through December of 2025. Now, if you are a Disney Cruise Line fan, this is really something to look forward to. Get ready to start planning your visits for next year and the year after. And also you will have that opportunity to visit those 2 private islands that everyone has been talking about. Are you a Disney Cruise Line fan? And if so, I would love to know which one of these that I've discussed is your favorite ship and why. Let us know in the comments below. For our next story, we're going to talk about travel insurance. Now, I have mentioned this on several videos on the channel, the importance, at least in my humble opinion, of having travel insurance when you cruise, but not just cruise, when you travel, because as we all know, and we've seen some of the headlines recently, things can and will happen. And none of us plan for this. We're planning on a vacation where we can just relax or recharge or have some fun. We're never planning on tragedy or harm or things not going right. And that's exactly why I suggest travel insurance. Well, this insurance company is going to offer insurance that compensates us for missed ports and itinerary changes that are due to weather or other mechanical problems. That's saying a lot, because if you notice some of the cruise insurance that's available now, a lot of times that's not what we get. The name of this cruise insurance that we're talking about is called Seven Corners. Now, they've launched this new insurance designed for U.S. residents, and it is for anyone taking a cruise out of the U.S. that's less than 30 days. It covers all around the world, and it offers more benefits than most other insurance companies out there. Here is a list of some of the benefits that this policy will offer. In addition to the standard travel insurance coverage, well, it also offers missed tours or cruise connections, cruise diversions, cruise disablements, and itinerary changes. So let's go through each one of those just to understand what we mean. So when we talk about missed tour or cruise connections, this covers unused non-refundable deposits and additional transportation or meal costs or lodging if a delay of at least 3 hours is due to a covered reason that causes you to miss your cruise departure. Cruise diversions will give you compensation if you miss a port stop or your cruise due to weather, natural disasters, or mechanical breakdowns. Cruise disablement, well, that provides compensation if you're confined for more than 24 hours on a cruise ship and you don't have power, food, water, or restrooms. And we know the stories about when that happened. And finally, itinerary change. Well, this covers unused non-refundable expenses for activities or events if your cruise line or your travel supplier eliminates a destination from your itinerary, or they change your trip itinerary in a way that prevents you from participating in the events or the activities. So this is pretty much covering all the things that can happen. You know, your itineraries are changed, you missed the cruise port for some kind of mechanical reason or things like that. These are the things that we're not covered for right now that Seven Corners is offering coverage for. The president of Seven Corners says all savvy travelers know that cruise travel insurance, well, it's just a necessity instead of an extra. So he is offering travelers the things that they really need. Now, for more insurance about anything that the Seven Corners policy covers, I'm going to leave the link for that in the description below. I am curious to know, what is the travel insurance that you currently use when you take your cruises? And would you say that they are a good value for money, and do they cover the things that you need? We'd love to know about it. Please drop that info in the comments below. Our next cruise story takes us over to the Port of Miami. Here we're going to talk about shore power. We have heard the stories about shore power, the initiative that the cruise lines are taking to reduce their carbon footprint and greenhouse gases. Well, cruise lines are making the commitment to make their cruises better. Cruise lines keep their engines running when we are in port, and that's when all of the gases or the problems occur, especially for people that are close by that port. They don't want all of that happening. Why are you keeping the engine running? Okay, I'm simplifying it, but stay with me. So the Port of Miami is the first port that is now enabling cruise ships to plug into shore power. Port of Miami, through a partnership with Miami-Dade County and the cruise lines such as Carnival Corporation, MSC, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Virgin Voyages, and of course, Florida Power and Light. Well, they have the capability of offering shore power on all 5 of their cruise berths. They're stating that in the coming year, 21 cruise ships will be outfitted and ready to plug into shore power. And the seaport will have more than 350 vessels that will plug into shore power on this system. Carnival Corporation is extremely excited that Carnival Conquest is the first ship to be able to plug into shore power here in Miami. Carnival is surpassing its 2030 shore power goal, and they did that in 2023. They are already 7 years ahead of schedule to get to this point. They have an industry lead with 67% of their fleet already shore power capable. Carnival has twice as many ships that are actually ready to plug in than these cruise ports have the capability of providing the shore power. So they're actually outpacing the ports who need them to plug in. The ports aren't even ready yet. This shoreside power, which is also called cold ironing, it's an effective way for cruise operators to switch off ship engines while they're actually in port and do what's called, plug in, to use energy from the local electric grid to power onboard systems and equipment. It is stated that by doing this, emissions can be reduced by 98%. I am going to go ahead and put on the screen Carnival Corporation's current shore power achievements. I think this is a great step moving forward for the cruise industry to respond to some of the many critics for cruising. This is just one way to make it just a little bit better. Our next story takes us over to MSC, and I'm talking about their brand new ship coming out in 2025. Now, all of us cruisers know, and cruise fanatics and fans, that the largest cruise ship in the world, of course, is the Icon of the Seas. And the Icon is bringing out its sister, the Utopia of the Seas, next month in July. Well, MSC Cruises is going big. We're talking about the brand new MSC World America that will be coming out in 2025. Well, they have just released information about their 10,000 square foot kids club with a Lego themed adventure. Now, the World America won't be the largest cruise ship in the world when it comes out, but it will be one of the 10 largest cruise ships. The ship is set to debut in the spring of 2025, and it will home port in Miami. And this is also where MSC is currently building the largest cruise terminal in North America. So let's take a look at what MSC World America will have to offer. They have what's called a Sportsplex, and the Sportsplex will have bumper cars, football, basketball, Zorb ball sessions. I don't know what Zorb ball is, but the MSC World America will have it. Pickleball, hoverboards, and tennis. And we started the show off talking about this Lego adventure, so here's what they're offering for Lego fans. MSC World America will be the first cruise ship to have a Lego family game show. This is where parents and children will be able to work together in team challenges to see who is the true master builder on the cruise. Now, one time during the cruise, there will be a Lego parade with Lego characters that will march through the ship from Family Adventura to the World Promenade. This area where the family can all get together, so this includes parents as well as kids. They can come together in what's called the Lego Family Zone. MSC World America will also have the very largest Doramaland in the fleet at 10,000 square feet. Now, this is a dedicated area, and inside of this Doramaland, as it's called, they will have 7 dedicated rooms, all for ages 0 through 17 years old. So they're not leaving any of the kids out. And what's even better, this kids club will be open from 9 a.m. to midnight each day of the cruise. There will be an area for a family disco. This is a place where the children and the parents can dance along together to some popular children's music or to some original MSC tunes. The outdoor park will be called the Harbor. This area will have activities as well as places to eat. Now, they haven't given us complete information about what will be in the spaces yet, but we do know there will be a ropes course and also that cliffhanger kind of attraction that's popular on the newest MSC ships. Also, aboard the ship will feature the iconic lighthouse that's found on Ocean Cay. It's going to be located in the playground section of the ship. MSC is coming out strong in North America. They are looking to make a mark, and now they are focusing on families and children. And that's really good because there are so many ships that are, not for children. I'm thinking of Virgin Voyages and some of the luxury cruise lines. So there are options. We can take a cruise without the kids on certain cruise lines, and then we can take a family-filled cruise that is dedicated to family spaces and kid-friendly activities. This MSC World America, I am starting to get very excited by it. I think it's going to be a really good option to travel, especially if you have children. The MSC World America will debut in the spring of 2025, and it will offer cruises to the Caribbean and to the Bahamas from Miami. If you are interested in getting those cruises booked, I will drop my information down in the description below. Our last cruise news story is very fun and very festive. But before I get there, here's my opportunity to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Right Recipe for Travel is boldly going forward, looking to have 10,000 subscribers by mid-July. It's a big ask, but I know that you can do it. So if you like what you see, please do tap down on that subscribe button. That's all it takes to be part of the Right Recipe for Travel family. Of course, we would also love it if you would give us a thumbs up and tap on the notification bell to be notified of videos as soon as they come out. And of course, share this with anyone that you think might be interested in cruising, travel, or cruise news. I really would appreciate it, and it helps the channel out a great deal. Thank you so much for joining the family. Now, let's talk about this festive story from Carnival Cruise Lines out of Australia. Carnival Cruise Lines introduces Grinch theme offerings in July. We're talking about this popular phase or fad or whatever you want to call it of Christmas in July. Well, Carnival Cruise Lines in Australia, they're going to do it big, but they're calling it Grinchmas. The offerings for the Grinchmas have just been unveiled, and this will be the second year in a row for Grinchmas in July. Sailings actually kick off this month of June and go throughout July. This will be aboard the Carnival Splendor, and it will offer some traditional Dr. Seuss at sea time. The Carnival Splendor will be completely transformed for these sailings. Something that's exciting this year is the addition of Max. He is the dog companion of the Grinch. He's also going to join as a special guest on board. You can look forward to some exclusive meet and greet opportunities with the Grinch and Max as well. And of course, we'll include a story time of how the Grinch stole Christmas. There will be a Christmas tree on the Carnival Splendor with artificial snow to make the season more bright. There will be holiday show performances by the singers and dancers, and a surprise guest will also be aboard, and we hear that he's from the North Pole. Some of the other fun offerings that will be aboard for this Grinchmas in July include the HuGe deck party with an all-green dress code, Grinchmas family games, and a Grinchmas scavenger hunt, as well as theme arts and activities on board. There will be some specially themed foods and beverages on board, as well as some really cool treats, like the Cindy Lou Who mocktail and mistletoe martini. And you can't forget the Grinchmas long lunch at sea. There will be Christmas caroling on board and a Jingle Bell Jam soundtrack. Sounds like a lot of fun, especially if you like the festive holiday spirit and if you like the Grinch. Here are the sailings, and they begin on June 24th of 2024. I think this will be a lot of fun. Kids will have a great time, and kids at heart as well. I myself would love to see this come over to America. What about you? Anybody think this would be, fun, or is it too catchy or too goofy or silly? I don't know. I'm a kid at heart, so I think it would be a lot of fun. That is it for the cruise news stories for today. I thank you so much for joining us, and I thank all of my subscribers. Thanks again for joining us, and we will catch you at the next adventure.